What can I say? What more can I say? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, the last four housemates to have their diary session this week had it today. And it was quite interesting. Yeah, there was Ricky, there was Sheba, there was Sautex, and Chimsom Chuka. On this video, we're going to analyze some of the things they discussed with Big Brother, all right? But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, a quick announcement. I don't even know if it's worthy of being called an announcement, but yeah, a quick announcement to all of you. You see that thing Big Brother told Nami during her diary session yesterday, where he had said, "Oh, there's another matter, and it shall be revealed to her later." Yeah, you see that matter, that later matter. Yeah. Well, the matter turns out to be a replacement punishment for the punishment that Big Brother relieved her of, or which she actually relieved herself of on Monday out of rebellion because Big Brother sending in a brief for her to read to the whole house, talking about, oh, she has therefore been relieved of a punishment of the vest of the. It was just so ridiculous to me. It was ridiculous because it wasn't Big Brother that actually relieved her of that punishment, if I do say so myself. She relieved herself of that punishment out of rebellion on Monday. But yeah, we've already talked about that. I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. But as I was saying, Big Brother sent in that brief via the head of house for her to specifically read to the house. And you see here, guys, if you even look at the way I'm even talking about this, I'm just irritated because it took the head of house to be begging for Nami to come downstairs for them to gather in the lounge. The other of us kept on shouting for everybody to come downstairs. Now, she wasn't the only one that was actually dilly-dallying wherever they were and doing whatever they were doing, right? But she was the last housemate. She was upstairs. The head of house, Abby, kept on calling, "Nomi, please come downstairs. Nomi, please come downstairs." To the point that she was now there. Abby was now begging. Abby that doesn't beg anyone. Abby that is always changing it to everyone. Abby was now begging her, "Nomi, please come downstairs." Big Brother said we should come and gather in the. "Nomi, please come downstairs." Abby had to beg her like over and over again before she now grudgingly, at her own time, now dragged her feet down the stairs. So when Abby gave her the brief, she was still arguing that, "Oh, Abby, you're the one that's supposed to read it, not me." Abby said, "No, Big Brother said I should give it to you to read." And she's like, "Oh, no, but it's not me." It's like, finally, she read it. And yeah, the new punishment for Nami now is there's a notebook with a statement, I guess, and she's supposed to rewrite it in the notebook. Now, this is one of Big Brother's most famous punishment of the entire show. You know that punishment where you do something bad and you're supposed to write and fill up an entire 80 leaves notebook. Maybe something like, "Oh, I will not do it again. I will not do it again." You write and write and write like that. So that is the new punishment. And she read it and she's like, and then they gave her one book. I don't know if it's a rule book, and then she was reading something out of it. See, yeah, the whole process, it was just so off-putting. Yeah, it was just so off-putting. And personally, I don't really care anymore. Like, whatever Big Brother wants to do, like, fuck it. Fuck him. Fuck Big Brother. Fuck him. Like, fuck him. Me, fuck you. Fuck him. Whatever he wants to do, yeah. I mean, I don't really care anymore. The whole thing was just irritating, It was just irritating. And then Abby now said, "Oh, can we give a round of applause for Nomi, please?" Nade Chris. Like, they should give her a round of applause for what? That, oh my God, she fought the system. Oh my God, she fought Big Brother. Like, round of applause for what exactly? Anyways, let's move on to better news. The diary session with the rest of the housemates that did not have it this past 2 days. Now, beginning with Ricky, ladies and gentlemen, Ricky's diary session was just as Ricky's diary session would always be, right? Filled with nonchalant statements, not appreciating people that deserve to be appreciated in the house because he probably feels like he should receive all the accolades more than anybody else, even though he doesn't pull his weight around the house to be more contributing to anything. And yeah, that guy. Anyways, it got to a part where Big Brother had asked him if he had anything else to discuss. And Ricky was complaining that, oh, the Big Brother, must we be working out every day? Like, why are they working out every day? That at least people that should give them a day off. You know, people that we want to be strong and fresh so that we can actually entertain the viewers. So if we're tired and sleepy, it doesn't make any sense. So Big Brother, at least give us a day off from all the workouts. We can't be working out every day. It's tiring. Let me put this into perspective for those of you that probably do not really understand it. Number one, when you hear me calling Ricky a lazy man, I'm not calling him that out of spite. I'm calling him that because that is what he embodies in the house. Ricky carries himself like everything is just too hard for him to do. To make advances as a woman is difficult for Ricky to do. Ricky believes he should just sit down and spread his legs and everything will just come and tap the dick, come and pay homage to the dick and then walk away, or come and kiss his ego and walk away. He has had this in conversations with whoever cares to listen, that he doesn't even like making advances at women. He wants the woman to like him, to want him, to need him. And then that is the only way the relationship will work. He said the same thing to Sheba, and Sheba wanted to be chased. Boriki said what he said, and that was also part of the turn off for Sheba. Now, aside that, there's also the part where, with regards to this working out in the arena every morning, it's not like Ricky is the best student or the best participant during their workout sessions in the mornings. Most of the time, Ricky does not do what everybody else is doing. Most of the time, he'll just stand somewhere and like this, and he's looking. And sometimes he'll carry weights, you know, dumbbells, as if he wants to go on full beast mode with dumbbell. And before you know it, he's chilling again. And so when he was now asking for like a day off, I just like, this is so fucking ridiculous. Like, Ricky, you people don't even work out on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. On Mondays, sometimes the trainers don't even show up. So it's the housemates that have to, you know, lead and direct themselves, right? Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, when they actually have the intense workout sessions, which are not even very, very intense per se. It's not really intense. Then on Fridays, they do yoga. And yoga is one of the calmest and chillest stretching sessions ever. So it's not like you're carrying kettlebells and dumbbells and then you are carrying weightlift and then you are flexing your muscles. You ain't doing much. And then Saturday, Sunday, people that allows these housemates to sleep till 8 a.m. in the morning. So Ricky complaining about the working out hours and asking for an extra day off. I'm just looking at this guy like, bro, you just want to turn to breeze and just be existing as air and nothing else. Because at this point, it's giving princess. Nature wasn't wrong. Acting like a princess up and down. Like, oh my God, I can't soil my fingers. Oh my God, I can't do much. Like, he's giving princess at this point. And you could tell that Big Brother was irritated. Big Brother had to ask him, Ricky, you don't work out Saturdays and Sundays. You already have 2 days off. And I was like, oh yes, Big Brother, that's true. And that's true. And then I came up with some excuses and I said, oh, and one time, the trainer told me that I should rest because I have knee pains. Oh, he said I should not stress myself too much. He was just giving excuses. And I was just looking at this guy. I'm like, bro, I thought Taraga was worse. At least Taraga pulls his weight in the arena. He works out at least. But you, another waste of slot. Finish. Another waste of slot. There's nothing anybody will tell me. Another waste of slot this season. Like, seriously. Moving on, Jerry. Now, on to Sheba's diary session. She had a lot to say. I mean, a whole lot. We know that she's quite expressive. At some point, she even got emotional, you know, cried, shed tears over missing her son. But we're not going to dwell on that. Now, first, about her reaction to Kamsi's eviction. She said she was completely indifferent. Indifferent because Kamsi did not show the need or the want to be in the house, either by her words or her actions. Now, the way she had said it and explained it, it was quite flippant. And frankly speaking, I felt like it was very, I felt like it was very unfair of her to say. Because here's the thing a lot of these housemates do not understand. They are not everywhere in the house to see and to judge which of their housemates is giving off the energy that they want to be in the house. Kamsi tried to participate in task. Kamsi created drama. She created a famous triangle with what I think the two most, vocal guys in the house, Chimsom and Gerald. Her drama was the talk of the house for weeks, I think for 2 weeks. She did stuffs, right? She might not be as very assertive as Gadessa or Sheba, but Kamsi was pulling her weight in her own way. So Sheba describing Kamsi like she was a very insignificant character in the house. It was quite disappointing. I felt like it was just very unfair because if we're going to talk about who even created that kind of drama, we could boldly say that Kamsi actually created more content than Sheba. Yeah, because the way Sheba was looking at it, you could tell that she was insinuating about maybe for arena games or task, but then you can't really measure it based on based on participation in one area whilst overlooking the other areas. Kamsi's strength might not have been in the arena, but when it came to other dramas in the house, she was quite stronger than Sheba there. So it was quite unfair. I just felt like it was just very unfair. Yeah. But anyways, moving on to Neche's voluntary exit. She first of all referred to the question Ibuka had asked Godessa. And just like she did that Sunday night, she was acting surprised and like, oh my God, Big Brother, I can't even think of anything I said or did that's referred to Neche or me saying anything bad about Neche. That she was feigning ignorance, complete ignorance, that she did not do anything. And it was quite funny for me. It was quite funny for me because, that's one thing about housemates coming into the diary room. They know that they've actually pooped in different places. So when they get into the diary room, that is where they do their own PR. That's where they try to launder their image. And that was exactly what Sheba was doing. She was busy laundering her image, making it look like she's this upright housemate, this outstanding individual that can do no wrong in anybody's eyes. I mean, our fans can eat that up, but definitely not Gloria Elijah, because Gloria Elijah actually saw exactly how she undermined Neche's head of house reign, even to the last minutes that Neche left the house. But we're not going to get into that because we've already talked about that in details. Now, moving on, she also said that she feels like Big Brother had something to do with Neche's exit. She feels like Necha could just walk back into the house and Big Brother would tell them that it's a prank. So she's sort of keeping her fingers crossed and waiting for that event to happen. She's not the only one that actually carries such a sentiment. Most of the housemates actually feel like it's a prank. And for the likes of Chimsom, they are waiting till Sunday, during another live eviction show. And if Necha doesn't show up, then they will believe and accept that it's actually true. She's left the show. Now, she said about the conspiracy hour. She said that she felt like there were 4 people who were more deserving than Bells, who everybody in her team kept on voting for to be saved during the conspiracy hour. And guess who the 4 people were? Godessa, Tram, Gerard, and Bluthopia, whom in her claims I just lost 2 of her friends in one night. And once again, when Sheba said that, even the explanation that she gave backing that up, it just felt like, wow. Maybe Sheba's head of house reign completely blinded me to the fact that she could also have a very, very dark side to her, which in terms of the games, we could call it a very competitive side, right? Because her saying that Bells, first of all, she started off by saying that the conspiracy hour was filled with Bells' friends and allies. Yeah. And then she said that she wanted her girl, Godessa, to be saved. And then Tram is a baby. She wanted her baby to be saved. And then there's Gerard, who they've been playing and bantering from time to time. She so badly wanted Gerard to be saved. And then there's Bluthopia, who just lost 2 of her friends. That she feels like those 4 people were more deserving to be saved from eviction this week than bells that Bells' friends were saving. And I was looking at this woman like, it's not like, so what's the difference? If you feel like Bells is not deserving because she's not your friend, because that's just what it is, she's not your friend, what makes you not think that your own friends are more deserving? Because I was waiting to listen, I was waiting to hear her excuses, thinking it was going to make sense, but it did not make sense because everything still boiled down to the fact that she wanted her own friends to be saved and not the other party's friend, Bells, to be saved. And the way she was talking and speaking English, with her good vocals, you would think that what she was saying made so much sense. But it just did not make sense. It was all the bias. It was just reeking with that bias. And I'm like, Sheba, not like this you be. Now, wow. Is this how you are really? That wasn't all. Biggie had asked her to analyze the alliances in the house. She had gone ahead, of course, to do that. Accurately mentioned all the alliances, talked about the roles that the different individuals in them played in the said alliance. And then when it got to her part, she had something entirely different to say. We're going to get there. Now, she says she doesn't trust the likes of Cassie, Chimsom, and Sautex because they do not have any particular alliance that they are aligned with. Instead, they are friends with everyone. They do things for everyone. They are everywhere, right? And she doesn't like them. She doesn't think that she can actually trust them because, she's the kind of person that actually likes, if you're for me, you're for me. You're not for anybody else. So people now asked her, so what about you? What of your own alliance? She now said, that she's building friendships in the house. That she's building friendships with the likes of Godessa, with Araga, with Tram. She was naming her people's names. And then she mentioned Temi. And you know what's funny? When she was talking about the conspiracy hour, she didn't even mention Temi's name for saving. But when she was talking about the friendship, she was like, oh, Temi is so funny that she's building meaningful friendships. And one thing she loves about her friendship is that she strongly believes that they have her back. So I now, hey God, I now looked at Sheba. I said, wait, Sheba, hold on a second. So you are building meaningful friendships, which in your analysis should not be termed an alliance. But even though they are friendships, you believe they have your back. So if that is what you are doing, what makes you think that that is not what these other people are actually doing? What makes you think that these other people are not building meaningful friendships because they need someone in the house to have their back? I mean, for instance, Flora and Oyi, you think they are just allies? You don't think they have a meaningful friendship going on? You don't think they have each other's back? I mean, all the fights that has happened in the house and how both of them rise up to the occasion to defend the other, you don't think that is a meaningful friendship. You think that's just a mere... Because listen, what is even an alliance? Because I'm listening to Sheba and I'm thinking, wait a damn minute. So now you're trying to make it look like you are the Mother Mary of the house. You're the saint of the house. You're the one that does not have any single ulterior motive. But at the same time, it is still you that does not like Cassie, Chimsom, and Sultex because they are friends with everyone. You know what? Yeah, I put out a tweet about this, and one of Sheba's friends, one hair-head that was trying to sound very enlightened was saying that this is above your thinking pay, above your thinking grade. You cannot understand what she said. Please, if you are Sheba's fan, can you please come and explain to me the sense in what she's saying? Like, tell me exactly what is different that she's doing that these other housemates that have their own alliances and friendships are not doing. Tell me something spectacular that Sheba is doing that is so pure and holier and sanctified that these other housemates are not doing. Because, frankly speaking, I am genuinely confused. So please help me think. Since these hairheads think they are the only ones that actually have sense and they can think, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Because for me, everything she was saying was just reeking of hypocrisy. And Big Brother smelt it. Hence the reason Big Brother was asking now, okay, what about you? If you're claiming that these other people, they have alliances and you don't have alliances, instead you have friendships, meaningful friendships, explain. So please, let me know in the comment section below. And then finally, She mentioned that for the voting of the most influential housemate, that she feels like there's something the guys are doing, that it's like the guys do not want the girls to win it. Because Nicola was asking a question in that regard, and she was like, oh, she feels like the guys do not want the girls to win it. So it's like they're only voting for guys because she believes that she's the most deserving. In fact, last week, she believed that she should have won it. The last one that Chimsom Chuka won, she said, oh, they just gave it to Chimsom, that she did more than Chimsom, she should have won it. Then the one that Sautex won last week, she believed that, oh, she's more deserving to win it. And once again, I'm looking at Sheba. I said, Sheba, I understand your personality. You're the type of person that wants to win everything. You're the type of person that has main character syndrome. You're the kind of person that wants to be chosen for everything. You're the kind of person that if you want to always be at the forefront, I understand. And it's fine. I mean, it's a game at the end of the day, and you want to really show yourself, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong in always wanting to position yourself as the number one in everything. However, can you be at least honest with yourself? Because if you think about it, last week, what exactly did Sheba do last week? Absolutely nothing. Because it was Nature's head of house, Rain, she and her cohorts, they were sabotaging everything. They were not even putting their weight in anything. What is what? Not just in the wager preparations. She was not pulling her weight anywhere. They were even more lax last week. So if Sultex won it by virtue of his effort in helping the house to achieve the brief for the wager, what makes you think you're more deserving? And then trying to make it into a gender war. It was just so low. Because I'm like, even thinking it is because of the guy. I said, Sheba, on the form, there are so many categories. It's not only guys that are in the house. It's mixed genders. So everybody scores everybody according to different categories. So why are you making it look like it is only the guys that actually vote for the most influential housemate of the week? See, guys, Sheba's diary session today, it was just smelling of hypocrisy, to be very frank with all of you. I just felt like there was just another side to her. But then again, can I blame her? Absolutely not. Because what is the diary room for anyways for these housemates? You know, it's for them to actually sell themselves to viewers, to their fans and non-fans. It's for them to come and do PR for themselves. And that was exactly what Sheba was doing. So I can't really fault her for that. Anyways, quickly moving on to Sautex. Ladies and gentlemen, Sautex had a lot to say. But the one thing that I hinged on was him also standing on the belief that Oyin is copying. According to him, she's copying the script of previous housemates that have been on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned on my diary session video yesterday that is the perception of the entire house. Oyin, as at today, is still carrying a backpack. And to be quite frank with all of you, I want to see for how long she can pull that stunt. Yep, I want to see for how long she can pull that stunt. Now, Sautex also had some doubts, about winning the most influential housemate of the week. He did not think the housemates were going to vote for him. He was really doubting himself. And he was even asking Big Brother, what exactly is the criteria for winning? And Big Brother reminded him that there are different categories on the forms. But then, unfortunately, his fellow housemates, for some weird reason, think that whoever is to win the most influential housemate title should be the person that does well the most in their wager preparations. So Big Brother had to tell him that the criteria is what is provided in the form. All the different categories put together is what qualifies a housemate to be deserving of the position, because it comes with immunity and everything else. So what did Sautex do? This guy, after his diary session, he ran into the house and he was telling everybody that this is what people that said, though, because now people are only looking at wager. It is not only about wager. So he was telling everybody. So ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait for Saturday when they get to vote again. Let's see who these housemates will vote for come Sunday. All right. Now, finally, on to Chimsom Chuka. Chimsom Chuka had a lot to say. I mean, coming from a young man who is quite competitive, he's a gamer, player, everything, and also enjoys the sound of his own voice. Yes. But then he also, in a way, tried to play the victim when he was sharing his own side of the story of what exactly transpired between him and Oyi 2 nights ago. And Big Brother had to cut him short, just like he did with Oyi. He was talking about, oh, she poured water on my bed. I know I overreacted. You know, he was doing this fake righteousness of, Big Brother, I know that I overreacted. I shouldn't have overreacted. So Big Brother had to ask him, what did you do that made her pour water on your bed? And then I say, this is what happened. Big Brother, my co-mates and I were rehearsing. You know, was basing it all on the rehearsals and stuff. And then he said, oh, that he did jumping jacks on the bed. That you know, he was making it sound so flimsy. But Big Brother had to bring him back and said, so you attempted to vandalize Big Brother's property. And he was like, attempted. No, Big Brother, there was no intention. There was no attempt. Big Brother said, what are you saying? He said, okay, that could pass for. Big Brother said, what do you mean by that could pass for? Like he was making it look like him jumping on the bed was not an act of vandalism. But Big Brother stood on business that no, that was an attempted act of vandalism. Jumping on the bed. What if the bed broke? What is a bed for? A bed is for sleeping. Is a bed for doing jumping jacks? So Big Brother had to set the record straight with him. That is exactly what he did. But the good thing about Chimsom's session is he actually took accountability for his actions. Unlike Nomi's one, where Big Brother was the one putting words in her mouth and trying to get her to accept that she messed up, Chimsom completely took the blame. Like he took accountability for his actions. However, he was still standing on the grounds that he does not know what he did to even get her upset in the first place. He did not mention the fact that he was saying that she does not have content. To no, he did not. But to some extent, with regards to that old drama, he actually took accountability that he overreacted, he talked too much, he said too many things he wasn't supposed to say, and all that and all that. And I'm like, okay, good. At least now you are making sense. Now you are making sense. For all he had done and said to Oyin, he had planned to have a conversation with her after the wager, you know, just to find out what exactly was the issue, because he felt like they had had a conversation before and they had sorted out their differences and they were even good before all of that drama played out. So he was still going to call her for a conversation. I am personally looking forward to that conversation because I want to see if, just as he did in the diary room, if he's going to also take accountability for the things he had said to provoke her. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to stop talking. I would love to hear from all of you. So please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.